Welcome everybody to Personal FX. You are about to see some absolutely wonderful collectibles. But John, it's hard to believe Christmas is just 6 days away.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. It's not going to happen.
Okay, let's hold it off. Christmas can't come
Right,
yet. John
that's
isn't
right.
ready. But for some collectors, a Christmas tree is not complete without what's called an Erzgebirge. It is collected pieces of German folk art, and I wasn't familiar with that word before.
What's that word again?
Erzgebirge.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. And we've also got some great appraisals to get to, and I'm going to get to them, John.
All right, you do it. We're speaking German here. We're speaking German. A little bit later on the show, we're also going to tell you about an auction that's coming up this Saturday with Hollywood memorabilia involved. It's going to be terrific. So first, let's go out to Bakersfield, California, where Isle Haynes is standing by with today's super collector. Hi there, Isle.
Hi, John. John, at first glance, it looks like I'm in any home in any part of America. But as soon as I enter through this door, I enter into the Old West. This is the waiting area of an old-time saloon that is found in today's super collector's home. This is Charlie Zawela. Charlie, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Where did you get the idea to build an old-time saloon in your home?
Well, many years ago, I had friends that had the same interest as I now have. And after watching them collect stuff, I got interested. So after collecting the stuff 10 years, I decided to build an authentic saloon.
So what era are we looking at?
This era is around the turn of the century, 1900.
Okay, and every piece is authentic in the collection. I'm telling you, John and Claire, when we go back in there, it's like entering into the Old West right here in Bakersfield, California in the 1990s. It's incredible.
Everybody here in the apartment is in shock. This is amazing. Charlie, I have one question for you. What took us so long to find you?
I just finished my saloon about 2 months ago.
This is the premiere.
It looks great. We'll check in with the two of you later on. Thanks a lot, Io. Thanks, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Boy, that is amazing. Claire, that's his house. That's where he lives.
John, I think we're often amazed by super collectors and how they transform their house with their collections. Incredible. And let's introduce you to our ace appraisers of the day, Susie Anderson and Judith Katz-Schwartz.
Hi.
Have either of you ever seen anything quite like that?
That's great.
It's wonderful. It is marvelous. Well, we look forward to belling up to the bar and seeing some of this collection. And we have Randall joining us right now. Hi, Randall. Nice to have you with us.
How are you?
And just in time for the holidays, some nice glasses, festive glasses.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I found these like 25 years ago when I was a little kid at a flea market for Media Friends School and elementary school out in Media, Pennsylvania.
Oh, when you were in school, they held a fair. How nice.
Yeah.
So your mom bought these?
Yeah, she bought them for me. Really, those are part of 8, which we have. There's 4 there, and my sister gave me those. She thought they were close to these about
they don't match.
4 years ago. They don't match.
Right.
A
They
decent
don't match.
marriage, but...
And really, the value is in these anyway, your water glasses. They are a tad better quality than these two to begin with. So let's discuss these, not those anyway. They are not 19th century, but they're coming into the 20th. Oh, I date them about 1910 or so, but not quite, almost to the end of the brilliant period. They have a very high lead content. The workmanship on them is beautiful, of the quality of a Sinclair or a Sinclair type. A glass collector knows what I'm speaking of. They're very good quality. The fact that you have 8 is wonderful. You want to add anything to that?
Well, I did find a couple of little rim chips, nothing major, and probably something that could be filed down.
But it takes away from the value.
It does take away from the value. There's one right here, as a matter of fact, and there's another one over here.
Okay. And worth about how much for the set? And are they all, the rest of the glasses, in pretty good condition?
Yeah.
Well, the rim chips can be taken away with no big problem at less than $5 a glass. So I'm going to put the 8 of them at about $450.
Yeah.
Probably got a good buy at that school fair. What do you think? Would you like to put them up for sale, and you're about the same?
Yes, I'm right with Susie on that.
Yes, I would.
Okay, thank you so much for visiting.
Thank you.
Have a good holiday.
Same to you.
And our bid line number is 212-802-0082. He's selling. If you're buying, give us a call. And Sarah's going to come on in next. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Hi, Sarah. Good to have you
Hi.
here. Welcome.
Good to be here.
And, oh, the A-Team.
Yes.
In the box, never played with?
Yes, never played with. We actually had 2 of them, and my brothers opened one and looked at it and said, no way. And so we kept this one unopened.
So for the collectors in the family.
Yes.
That was very smart of you. And of course, everyone recognizes the A-Team because it's a fairly recent show. It was actually on in the 80s. And you've got the pictures of the main cast here. And of course, right in the center is Mr. T, who is probably the most famous member of the cast, at least once the show got on the air. And this is a model kit for making this van, which was the van that they traveled in. And of course, it's very important that this is mint in the box.
There's something else that's very important. The A-Team is also seen here on FX. Let's not
That's
forget
even
that.
more important. That's
Just,
most
the value
important
just
thing.
went up.
Yeah, the value just went way up. Of course, its original price was $5.99, but you bought it on sale for $2, which means you made a really wonderful buy. Although this isn't one of these items that has appreciated spectacularly, it can be expected to go up.
How much do you think? I mean, I'm not asking you to have a crystal ball, but if you held it for another 10, 20 years?
Well, I see that right now it's probably only worth about $10, but I think if you held it, it would double within the next 10 years.
I think it has to go through another generation for it to really escalate, and I think $10 is just about fine.
Well, it's a question of whether you want to hold on to it for another generation or put it up for sale right now.
Well, I think we're going to take some bids.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you here. And let's see what Fern is bringing in. Hi, Fern.
Hi.
Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Do a lot of collecting?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit here and there?
Not a lot, but a little.
Tell us about what you brought.
I bought that at a garage sale
Uh-huh.
that I just stopped by, and I have no idea.
Tell me you only paid
Anything.
$1 or $2.
No, I paid $7.
$7.
Yeah, but I collect boxes, so I really like it.
It's a nice little trinket box, and it once was silver plated. Most of the plate is off now. There's just some residues of it here and there, and it was silver on copper at one time. And
Does
that's
it pay
mostly
to
gone.
re-silver plate it?
I would not plate this.
If it's a good piece, you can, if that is your taste and you want to see it shiny again. I have nothing against either way because you're in a mechanized period anyway. But what is of note is that there is damage on this box, right on that corner, and that is very important. This is a 20th century box. It is machine made. Nothing too extraordinary about it, and the damage kills the value. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to put it under $10, pretty much what you paid for it.
I would leave it just as it is, even if it didn't have that damage in the corner. I think it's charming the way it is. I'm right with Susie on it. It's probably at around $10. I'd keep it this way.
And if you like it, that's all that matters. It really is lovely. Would you like to put it up for sale, though?
I'll take bids, but I'll probably keep it.
And you're entitled to do that. If you love it, you should keep it as well. Thank you for being with us today. And now it's time for the Collector's Update.
Yesterday, we told you about a rock and roll auction taking place at Sotheby's here in New York City. And now it turns out that Sotheby's is having an incredible Hollywood memorabilia auction that's happening on Saturday. So here's a preview for your eyes only.
Hooray for Hollywood. Memorabilia, that is. Tomorrow, Sotheby's Auction House in New York City celebrates the silver screen with a sale of memorabilia from film's best and brightest. All the glitz and glitter are here. Greta Garbo's purse and shoe buckles sit alongside the Duke's cowboy boot cufflinks. Marilyn Monroe's hanky and heels are up for sale, along with the suitcase she carried in the 1953 Fox film, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Enchanted by the Land of Oz? Try this Munchkin costume on for size. Bids start at the very big sum of $10,000. Recent Hollywood hits are featured to bring in the younger set.
There seems to be a lot of a younger generation coming in and liking all the contemporary material.
This Lost World dinosaur head roars at $1,500. For Trekkies, there's a Captain Kirk jacket from Star Trek II. Opening bids start at $3,000. But the most expensive piece in the sale is a 1978 Superman cape. Sotheby's hopes it'll soar to record heights of $7,000 to $9,000.
I know what you're thinking. Those are big, big stars. And yes, I'm working on it. Someday I will get Claire to donate something to that auction.
My pleasure, John.
Sotheby's is holding this auction again on Saturday. You should know that. And they are accepting phone and fax bids. Stay with us, folks. When Personal FX returns, we have some great items that we're going to be appraising here in the apartment, including a G.I. Joe set so complete, it's got a shark. We also have some items out in Bakersfield, California that we got to learn about, so stay with us.
Time now to tell you about yesterday's late bids. Carol from Grand Forks, North Dakota, sent in a photo of her Stein. Rich and Judith appraised it at $25. Well, Tom from Makina, Illinois, sent us a bid of $51, and Carol said, no sale. Scott from Kentucky had a stuffed animal appraised for $150. And Christina's bid of $125 sent Cecil the Sea Serpent packing because Scott said sold. And then lastly, we had Paul's alabaster bust. It was appraised at $1,500. Well, Charles from Louisville, Kentucky bid $176, and Paul said, no sale, no way. And that's the last roundup. John?
You're getting all the tough words today. Cecil the Sea Serpent? What was the one who started the show?
Erskaberg.
That's it. All right, let's go out to California where Larry has joined us. Hi, Larry. How you doing out there?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What'd you bring?
Well, I brought a crystal set here. I've been collecting crystal radios for several years, and they're kind of hard to find.
Very nice. What do you two think?
This is very interesting because when we think about a radio collector, we think of someone who collects these cathedral-shaped radios and these old radios with push-button dials that they can display. And this is a whole other kind of radio collector that this would appeal to. And this is somebody who's interested in scientific instruments because that's basically what this is.
And those are still available today in scientific sets for children to learn how a radio works. And that's basically where its value is not with the regular radio collector. It's with the scientific instrument collector, because the two just don't equate at all.
This may be a stupid question, but the purpose of the radio, this doesn't look like something that
Usually they build it. Crystal radio today, the kids build it.
Is this like a telegraph, or was this used to receive music?
It's used to receive music,
Oh,
news, whatever. Yeah,
really?
you can build a radio. This is, if you had one of these and put it together, you would understand how your radio works when you turn it on.
I see. And how old is this item here?
There should be a date on it somewhere.
It looks to be from the turn of the century, maybe 1910 or so. Value-wise, they're difficult for me to sell in the area I work in. I don't know about you.
No, they're a tough sell.
Okay, so I'm going to say under $50.
I would just like to see the box closed and maybe spun around a little, because sometimes the cabinetry has a lot to do with it.
All right, Larry, if you do that
see
for
the
us.
construction of the box. Thank you very much. I see it's a dovetail box. I'm going to agree with Susie. I say $50 for this.
Okay. Well, Larry, what do you think? Do you want to take bids on that, or do you want to hold on to it?
Well, that'd be fine. We'll see what somebody thinks it's worth.
All right, let's find out, and we'll let you know. Thank you very much for bringing that by.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Joe is up next. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Hi. Nice to be here.
Nice to see you. Oh, tell us what you got here.
Well, I have a bionic G.I. Joe. My son sounded like Aldo Ray when he was 5 or 6, so they hired him to do voiceovers for the commercial for this new product. And they handed him the doll that was in the commercial when he walked out.
How neat.
Is that right? What an interesting story.
And actually, they never sold these. There was some problem with the construction. As you can see, both of the hands are off. They sold him kind of half naked like this because they wanted you to see that he was bionic. And these were scheduled to be produced toward the end of the run of these large ones. In 1976, they went to the smaller ones, and this is probably from 75 or 76. Is that about when your son was in the commercial?
Yeah.
So this is actually a prototype.
Was this around the time of the Bionic Man, the series? Is that what this is about here?
This is an attempt to get in on the old bionic market.
Yeah.
It never worked for them, and consequently, this is a very rare piece.
Susie?
I'm not sure I agree.
Okay.
What does Atomic Man look like? Because in the 60s, they did come out with Atomic Man. He came with brown shorts and a camouflage shirt, not a denim shirt. And I think that's what we're looking at, is Atomic Man. He doesn't book for a lot of money. He books for $45 perfect. Your value is in the clothes, especially with this missing hands.
Well, now, some of these clothes have an A on it. Would that be...
It could be Atomic Man.
Yeah.
That's the Adventure Team.
That's the Adventure Team. Okay.
The Adventure Team are, this is a series that came out in the 70s, so these are toward the end of the production of these large ones. It does hurt that the hands are missing, and ordinarily these are easily replaceable, but not for this model.
Well, we have all kinds of stuff, including a shark. So what is all this worth here?
I'm going to say if you add up everything here, you're going to come out with between $250 and $300.
I agree.
Yeah? $250 to $300? Well, what do you think? Do you want to take bids?
Oh, I'd be glad to take bids.
We'll do that for you, and we'll let you know. Thank you very much for bringing that by. Appreciate that.
I'm able to come.
Thank you. The number to call, in case you'd like to place a bid, 212-802-0082. And Bertha now has joined us. Hi, Bertha, come on in.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you. What'd you bring?
Christmas stockings?
No, where'd you get these? What do you know about them?
Garage sale.
Okay. Can I ask you what you paid?
$1.
$1. That's always a
Good for
great
you.
thing.
There's a tag inside. It's usually a toy company in New York.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's the tag, and these are from the 50s, maybe even from the early 60s, and they've got a plastic Santa face here, and they're made out of this plush material. The only thing is that they're kind of dirty. They've got stains on them, and so there's a problem with their displayability, and that kind of always hurts a collectible. Although they are awfully cute.
They're cute. They can be cleaned professionally. That's no problem with that. Value-wise, they're worth a lot more than what you paid for them, but they're not a high-cost collectibles. These are basically of interest to baby boomers because this is our childhood.
And you agree with the date on that?
Yeah,
Susan?
it's from the 50s, early 60s. It's very typically from that period. I know if I were cleaning out a house and I found them, I would keep it because that's my childhood.
In other words, your customer is the nostalgia customer, the person who's buying back his or her childhood, those of us who remember having these when we were kids. And I don't know that it would receive a lot of attention from a younger collector, unless, well, you can pass these things down.
Sure,
from generation to
absolutely. People do that.
generation.
And, you know, if they can be cleaned, then, you know, these are in very good condition.
Yeah, you could try cornmeal and brushing it out, too. It might work.
All right. So value?
Well, I would have to appraise them as they are now, because I don't know how they're going to clean up. So I'm going to say, as they are right now, probably $25 for the pair.
Yeah, I would say about $20 the pair right now.
Okay. Do you want to take bids? Sure. We can do that
Why
for
not?
you. Thank you for bringing that by. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All righty. And Jim is up next. Hi, Jim. Come on in.
Hi.
How's life?
Very well, thanks.
Good. What do you got?
Sterling silver match case, match safe.
Match safe.
Right, that's what it is. And there's a difference between this and a match case, because match case usually has a striker on it and is meant to hold a book of matches. And this is meant to hold loose matches.
Right.
So this is a little bit earlier. It's an Art Nouveau piece, probably from the turn of the 20th century, I would think.
And made in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, is that right?
The trademark is Unger Brothers.
Oh, thank you.
It's one I recognize quite well because I collect that too. Very well done. If you go to the New York Museum now, you will see a collection of some of the Unger Brothers stuff that they made in silver along with their jewelry in that period of time. Quite collectible to people like me.
And also, I'd like to let you know that it's sterling, and that matters a lot too. It's not silver-plated, sterling, and it's a quality piece. You judge them by the amount of work they have on them. This has some beautiful repoussé work, which is when you pushed out from the inside, the design. And,
What's that word again?
Repoussé.
Repoussé is to push out from the inside, and it's a real art form.
So you push out from the inside to get that whole
Yes,
design.
or
Okay.
you push out from the reverse if you're using a sheet of silver also.
All right. Well, what do you think?
I'm thinking about $150, $175 for this.
They start at $125 and go to $175.
No kidding. Do you want to take some bids on that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Thank you very much for bringing that by. Repoussé. Repoussé. Edward has joined us. Hi, Edward. How are you?
How you doing? Fine.
Nice to see you. Now, tell us what you got here.
This is a Disneyland Ferris Wheel, which I purchased at an antique store.
It's so nice of you to bring me this Christmas gift. I really appreciate it. Well, this is made by the J. Chain Company, one of the leading American producers of tin toys, very famous for these tin wind-ups. And they produced a generic Ferris wheel, they produced a roller coaster, and this is one that they made in conjunction with Disney. It's got Disney characters on it. It's got Mickey over here, and we this one up. Okay, now it's working kind of sluggishly. You have to give it a push to make it work, and that's important to a collector. But you have to get it started like this. Because they like to see them in good working condition.
But it still does work. I mean,
It does work, yeah.
If you stand there and manipulate it and get it correctly, it will work
Now we
just
want it to
fine.
shut up.
I have sold these at auction, and what I actually had to do was just sit there, get it level, pinch it where it had to be pinched, and just get it going fine.
I'm holding on to it so it'll be
This
quiet
one's
here.
from the 50s. It's
This
not
one is
the
from the
40s? Not the 40s. This is the 50s.
I think I disagree with you on that. 'Cause I think these were first produced in the 40s,
1950.
this particular one. Although most of the chain roller coasters were produced in the 50s. I think this is a little earlier, and I was surprised to learn it because Disneyland really didn't open until the 50s. But this is on record as being produced in the 40s. Now, its condition, aside from the fact that it works sluggishly, is that it has rust on it. And the reason I mention this is because once you get up to this level of collector, people who are in this price range, something like this matters a lot to them, and it does really detract and reduce the price, the fact that it's got this. This
All right, so where are we then with this?
We're at about, between $500 and $650 for this.
And I'm going to disagree. I'm going to put it at $250, $300.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Ed, what do you think? Do you want to take some bids?
All the way.
All right,
All
we'll
the
take some
way.
bids. We'll let you know. Thank you for bringing that by.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's go back out to Bakersfield, California, where Isle Haynes is looking at an incredible super collection. Isle?
John, what is amazing is that everything in this old-time saloon is authentic, even down to the paintings hanging on the wall. This painting was done by a Californian artist who was very popular at the time. His name was A.D. Cooper. This painting is dated 1887, and it's called An Inquest on the Plains. And that's because the bison or the buffalo are having a meeting to discuss why this Native American was slain by one of his own. As you can see, there's a lot of history and many stories here in this old-time saloon right here in Bakersfield, California. You're going to see it more on Personal FX.
Got a history lesson for you here. Bell's nickels. Those are sinister-looking representations of St. Nicholas. They originated in Europe when legend had it that good children were rewarded with sweets by Pell's nickel, a boy with a beard and a blackened face, and this child bearing gifts evolved into our Santa Claus.
I didn't know that.
I made that whole thing up. No, that's,
And I believed him.
Bell's nickel.
Interesting.
Yeah, Bell's nickel.
Well, today's super collection is one of those fabulous ones that you see and you go, I can't believe it. I can't believe this is his house. I can't believe he did this.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's go out to Bakersfield right now. Isle, Charlie?
That's all right. Well, we're back with Charlie Zuela. Charlie, what was this room before?
Well, this used to be my garage, and I had nowhere else in the house to put anything this big, so I just decided this was the place. So
Incredible.
I raised the ceilings up, and everything fit.
Now, when we first came to you, or we first met you, we heard music playing in the background. Did that come from here?
This is called the Seaberg KT Orchestron, and the reason it's an orchestron is because it has 5 different instruments in it. It has flute pipes, castanets, a triangle, tambourine, piano, and then it has like a string type of
Now,
amendment.
what are these numbers here? Well, that says 6. What does that refer to?
This is the player piano roll, and this particular roll plays 10 songs. So each time you put a nickel into the machine, it plays a different song.
Now, when you got it, was it in this perfect condition? Because it's very loud.
It's been restored, and it's in perfect condition.
It's beautiful. What year did you say this was?
This one is pre-1907 because it has the flute pipes.
Oh, it's gorgeous, Charlie. Now, are people amazed when they see the collection?
Well, collectors that like this stuff and know this stuff, they know what it is. Well, I mean, I don't know. I hate to say it's that amazing.
Oh, it is amazing.
It is.
Especially this bar here.
Yeah.
This bar is very popular and famous.
Yes. This particular bar came out of the TV series Gunsmoke.
Wow.
It's a Brunswick Mount Oro bar made in 1893. I bought it in Missouri. It was shipped out here. I refinished it. And this is what it's supposed to look like.
Did it come in pieces and then you had to put it together?
All of the pieces come apart except for the top of the bar and the top of the back bar.
And this is what you had to raise the roof for?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. What kind of wood is this?
This is what they call quarter sawn oak. And the reason it's quarter sawn is because when they cut the wood, they turn it a quarter of a turn, and they cut it to get a more grainy effect.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, Claire.
Charlie, did you have to compete against a lot of other people who wanted to buy this?
Well, when I first saw it advertised, it was already sold. And so I left the people my name and number, and a week later they called me and said that the people decided not to take it, so I told them I would take it.
Lucky for you, huh?
Yeah.
Even down, this piece right here is very, very valuable and very rare.
Yes, that is the only known example of a Bakersfield Brewing Company sign. It's reverse glass. It was made around 1915. And Bakersfield Brewing Company burned down in 1918, so they never rebuilt it, and there's very, very little stuff left.
How much would you say it's worth?
Well, I paid $10,000 for it, so I feel like it's worth it, or I wouldn't have paid that much.
Well, let me put it down very gently. I can't afford $10,000, and it's a one of a kind.
Yes, it's the only known example of it.
Oh, Charlie, your collection is just fantastic.
Thank
Now,
you.
let's take a look at this spittoon. I'm going to give you, I already said what it was. I should have seen if you could figure it out. this, you just push down on the head.
You press down on the head, it would open the lid, and then somebody would spit into it.
Yuck.
And then they'd close it back up.
So a lot of men would use this as a way, as they came into a saloon and...
Well, basically, when people sat and drank, or actually stood and drank most of the night, they'd have spittoons positioned all along the bar.
So you'd have to have good aim.
Wherever, well, sometimes you didn't hit the...
You actually, let's take a look at some of your slot machines.
Okay.
These are great.
Yes. This is double Dewey, and this is very unique because it's two machines in one cabinet, and when the owner of the bar had to pay his licensing taxes, he only had to pay a single licensing fee because it's only one cabinet, but yet he still got the...
it works too?
Yes, you
put it in there.
Put that in, you press that twice.
Okay.
And then you push down on the handle.
And then hope that I win.
And hope that you win.
Oh, I did win.
You win, you win.
Good for you. Excellent. Excellent. You actually have another one that takes
you're
even
very
more
lucky.
money. I know. So this one is very rare because it takes a $50.
Yes, this particular machine takes $50, and back in 1902 when the machine was made, it was putting around $150 in each time you put a $50 in
You're
today's
kidding me.
monetary value.
So 50 cents was $150
About
back then?
$150, yes.
Wow. Wow, that's a lot of money. This is a fantastic collection,
Yes, and this
Charlie.
is a great machine because the mechanism, the head, and the cabinet all have matching serial numbers, and it's never been replated or anything.
Well, we want to thank you for opening your collection. It's only 2 months old.
Yes.
To our viewers, and it's been a wonderful day with us. Thank you.
Very much.
Two things come to mind. First of all, I don't think I've ever seen anybody win anything on this show. That was the first. And the second, even like the wallpaper is just looks perfect. It's just a great look.
Well, it's a Victorian style wallpaper that was about the 1880s to 1890s period, and some of the real fancy early saloons had Victorian things in them that...
You learned a lot about this era, then.
Yes, I looked at many pictures and then lots of books.
And
Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So, Charlie, you going to open up your house-to-house tours after today?
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, thank you two both very much. Really enjoyed that. That was terrific.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Imagining owning the bar to Gunsmoke, a legendary television show, among just a few of the things that you have.
I would never leave. I would
We've
just be
already
right there.
seen some wonderful memorabilia, but don't go away. There's still more wonderful collectibles ahead. Welcome back to Personal FX. If you were counting throughout the show, there are 8 items up for sale, and let's review them once more for you in today's recap. Starting out with the glassware. 4 water glasses and 2 wine glasses. From 1910, it's the water glasses that are really very good quality. For all 6, $225, the appraised value. And then we have the 18 Band Model Kit. Model is mint in the box from the 1980s television show, which is seen here on FX, and worth about $10. We have a trinket box. It was once a silver plated, but unfortunately the silver plating has worn away. So there's some damage to the corner of the box, and that puts it in the $10 range. And then there's the crystal radio set. It is a scientific instrument, turn of the century, to about 1910, in about the $50 range. And we have Atomic Man, along with accessories. It includes many outfits, and let's not forget the shark. From the 60s and 70s, $250 to $300 for all. And just in time for Christmas, the Christmas stocking has a plastic Santa face on each. Nice condition, but does need to be a little cleaned up. $20 to $25 for both. There's a silver match safe that is made in New Jersey by the Unger brothers. Very nice detailed work to it. Sterling silver, $125 to $175. And my favorite, Disneyland Ferris Wheel. What fun. From the 40s and 50s, it works sluggishly. It does have some rust, $250 to $600. And our number to call if you're interested in any of these items is 212-802-0082. And John, what can I say? When it comes to Ferris wheels, my eyes rivet towards them.
Anything wind up, Claire's looking at it. All right, let's go out to Bakersfield, California, where Brad is right now to have something appraised. Hi, Brad. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. What you got there?
Well, I've got a 1940s airline Coca-Cola Cooler. The stewardess used them on the airlines in the 40s and 50s. That's why they're designed this way.
Oh, that's something.
Stainless steel.
Very nice. You see, it's made almost like a suitcase. It's easy to carry on board.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't think I've ever seen one of these.
Also easy to stow under the cabinetry in the galley on the plane, and very convenient. Walk up the aisles, take out the can or the bottle, and you've got the bottle opener right on the side there.
Mm-hmm. Do you collect
Yes.
Coca-Cola?
A little bit. Not too much,
because
though.
that's an advanced collector piece. That's why I asked.
Ah.
It's from the 40s. We don't see them too often. That's in very good shape.
Yes, very little paint missing. I don't see any real visible rust, and particularly the lining is in wonderful condition, which is something you don't see. Usually the lining is damaged from use. So this doesn't look as if it was used very much.
This isn't something that you see every day, I don't think.
No, it's not.
No, it's an unusual piece, something that, as Susie said, only an advanced collector could get his hands on.
Well,
So, it's up there price-wise,
in
too.
these days of the airlines threatening only one piece of carry-on luggage, well, now we have something here. That's right.
Value-wise, a collector would pay in the range of $475 for that cooler.
Yeah, I'm going to say somewhere between $450 and $550 for it.
Boy, up to $550, and it's an advanced piece of Coca-Cola Collectibles. Do you want to take bids on that? Do you want to hold on to it? What do you think?
Well, let's take some bids.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Never been advanced.
Let's see what happens. Thank you, sir, for bringing that by. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Phyllis has joined us. Hi, Phyllis. How are you?
Yes, fine, thank you.
Nice to see you. Well, what do you got here?
Two statues. We call George and Martha.
George and Martha. All right. Where'd you get these?
My husband bought them for me when I was pregnant with my oldest child in 1958, just before I was going to have the baby.
Are they heavy?
He
Are
came
these
to New York.
particularly heavy?
Extremely heavy.
Okay.
He brought me to New York. We bought them on Broadway, one of those little junk shops
All
that
right.
sell everything.
Well, they're bisque, which means they're unglazed porcelain. They're definitely not George and Martha, although they are.
I knew they weren't.
Yeah, they're made to look like colonial-era people.
And the only mark is that blue slash down there with a few red marks underneath it, which the numbers are just a style number. The mark is probably a German mark. If you look very closely at the bisque, you see that the body of the clay is Germany. I'm going to put them at the early part of the 20th century.
How is the detail on these close-up? How's it
They
looking?
are all hand-painted. Look at the openness of the hand. That's an easy break if it was going to have some damage.
That's where
so
it would
you
be.
look there, you look at the detail of the faces, which is very nicely done.
Well, they look like George and Martha, but they're not. But what's the value?
For a decorative piece in this time frame, nicely done, it can have a range from New York to mid-America from $250 to $500, depending on who's selling them.
I'm at $600 for the pair. I think it has stunning detail and is in wonderful condition.
Okay. Do you want to take bids? Do you want to hold on to them?
Yes, I'd like to take this.
And we will do that for you. Thank you for bringing those
Thank
by.
you.
Appreciate it. All right. Ed Ford, come on in. We could use your help a little bit. Thank you very much, sir. Easy, easy. All right. And now Marion has joined us with something to be appraised, a toy of some sort, I think. Hi, Marion. How are you?
Hi, fine.
Nice to
Thank
see you. What do you have here?
A cap gun that my husband got at auction.
All right. Toy cap gun still in the package.
Well, you have a wonderful 50s collectible. It's also a 50 shot. It says it smokes also. I don't know if it's old enough to smoke if it's from the 50s. It's a collectible cap gun with a plastic handle and the steer heads on it, made by the Hubley Company. And it has appreciated quite a bit from its original $1 price. Very much so.
The plus is it's never been taken out of the package.
I think that's a big plus, right?
And even though it has some scuffs and a little bit of dirt and a little bit of crease, it's still It has not been taken out of the package.
If you spin it around, you take a look at the back, it's an interesting kind of package because the gun is exposed on the back.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's still sealed in the front. There's a small amount of discoloration, but you don't ordinarily find these in this nice condition. So on today's market, this sells for between $175 and $225.
I was going to surprise her and say it starts at $150.
Gosh, $150 up to $225 used to be a buck.
Isn't that neat?
Yes. You want to take bids on that?
Yes.
Yes, you do. I don't
Yes,
blame
I
you.
do.
Thank you for bringing that by. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
All right, back out to Bakersfield, California we go, where Ron now has joined us. Hi, Ron. How are you?
Just dandy.
Just dandy. What you got there?
Well, I've got this little pig with Howdy Doody riding on it. It's marked USA underneath of it, and it's also got a copyrighted by Bob Smith.
Gosh. Well, you talk about baby
Not
boomers.
really.
No? What do you mean? What?
It was made by Shawnee, and he's saying there's a copyright by Bob Smith. And I'm going to correct him a little bit on that because Shawnee collectors will tell you that bank was made for 1 year only, 1957, because they were in a dispute over the Howdy Doody trademark.
Wow.
And they couldn't make it after that because he did not give his permission for it.
Wow.
So they used his name without permission, and there was a lawsuit. Let me also say that this is in wonderful condition. It's just missing the rubber stopper that goes in the hole on the bottom. And that's the most common thing to be missing.
Boy, this has a lot going for it. Baby boomers, Howdy Doody is collectible. This wasn't made that much, so what's it worth?
Subject of a dispute as well.
Yeah.
It's worth, between $225 and $275.
I'm going to go to $475.
Gosh, that's something. That is great. What do you think? Do you want to take bids on that? You want to hold on to it?
We'll entertain offers.
All right, we'll do that for you. Thank you for bringing that by. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Boy, these are great items. These are great items, yes. Erksgebergs. Yeah, well, they may be difficult to say, but they've been popular in Germany since the 1700s. And a little bit later, when we come back, we're going to take a look at these collectibles of Christmas past. Join us for the Super Collectors. We do it every day at 1 o'clock. Some of the best hits of personal FX. It's the Super Collectors every day.
When some collectors think of Christmas, they think of what are called Erstgebergs, which are small wooden toys that have become a tradition in Germany. And what makes them so special to a dedicated, devoted collector like Peter Boyden, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Nice having you.
For those people who really never heard of an Erstgeberg, give us a sense of the history and the beginnings of it.
Well, they were made the end of the 18th century when the ore in those mountains ran out, and the local gentry suggested that the people make toys out of the wooden.
Okay, so they made toys like this. This one dates back to how old is it?
This is about 1860, around the Civil War period.
Now, do most of the Erstgebergs look like this?
Yes, they do. Yes, the buildings are generally indicative of what the towns and villages they lived in, and they used bright colors. They used
I like the vibrant colors.
Yes, great.
And so these are these are the towns, the trees, and this is a fountain?
Right, made out of wire.
That is really
and
interesting.
a municipal building, like a city hall. And
is that what drew you to it?
The colors drew me to it initially.
And when did they first become popular with American collectors?
Not till after World War II. They were sent out as war reparations gifts after the war. In fact, some of the boxes say content without value. So if you had a cousin who was in Germany as part of the occupying forces, he could send this to someone as a stocking stuffer at Christmas.
Okay, so these were really stocking stuffers.
Right, they were.
In a sense. But interesting that it was said contents without value, because I'm sure today they certainly have value.
They certainly have. They've increased in value.
Just how popular are they today?
Well, I think a lot of people have them and don't know they have them. They're mixed in with other collections, like doll collections or toy collections.
So they may have some of these little ones?
Yes, these are the most common things, the people and the small wagons. These are pre-World War I.
The ones right on this tray?
And they generally have better detail, and post-war are cruder and less expensive because of that.
Talk about the quality of the ones that are pre-1920.
Well, they have more detail carved in the legs and feet and shoes. They have little mustaches. There's a lot more painting involved.
And how much would things like this go for today?
$20 to $30 a piece.
When they originally came out,
Oh, a penny a piece.
just a penny, $20 to $30. And today, so this is the later ones, the newer
Right.
ones.
And these are probably worth somewhere between $5 and $10 a piece now.
So it's not just little people. I'm seeing like, is this like a rocker or?
Right. They did make other toys. It was the beginning of the toy industry in Germany.
How hard are they to find today, and where are the best places to find them?
Big antique shows and group shops and that sort of thing. And you could, if you keep your eye out, you can see them. Mostly people and wagons are most common.
Are most common, but for a collector like yourself, what is it that you're looking for? What is it you don't have?
Well, I like for buildings like this here, you know.
And how big do they get sometimes?
Oh, some of them are 20 inches wide. You know, and some of them are quite big. They were made as dollhouses and train stations for trains and all different kinds.
It also seems like for collectors, so you could spend a few dollars. You don't need a lot of money to collect Erskaberg.
Right, especially the people in the wagons are reasonable at this point.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being with us today and introducing us, because I know many people have never heard of them, but collectors like yourself are very devoted once they start collecting Erskaberg.
Thank you for having me.
And now tossing us over to you, John.
Boy, those things look great. All right, it is time now for the world-class Mailbag Minute. This is where we answer as many of your mailbag questions as humanly possible in 60 quick seconds, and this Mailbag Minute is brought to you by Rich Zelachowski.
Eileen Myers of Dillsburg, PA, your platter is hand-painted Nippon. It serves up a value of $65. Earl Sweet of Grand Junction, Colorado, your custom-made violin is from the 19th century. It's worth over $1,000, and I'm not fiddling around. Carol Slater of Pine Grove, PA, you have a Coca-Cola thermometer from the 1950s. It's worth a refreshing $125. Carl Swopes of Chicago, Illinois, your Elgin pocket watch is from the 1930s. Time is on its side for $145. Yvonne Foster of Apple Valley, California, you have a child's iron from the 1930s. It's impressive at $35. Sue Holsinger of Saginaw, Michigan, you have an early 20th century Fuller slide rule. It measures up at $175. George Pope of Cerritos, California, you have a Czechoslovakian rooster pitcher from the 1930s. It would fly for $120. And that's a Mailbag Minute.
7. That's how many he did. Now the record is 8. Can I get a 9 in the house before the new year?
But John, it's quality that counts, not quantity, and that was a quality mailbag.
Well, now that's a good point. Do you agree with all those appraisals? They look good to you?
Sure.
All
They
right.
were great.
All right, so it's quality over quantity. I still want the 9, though. All right, stay with us, folks. When Personal FX returns, we've got the big bids, so don't go anywhere. Thank you. Hi, welcome back to Personal FX. So let's get started with these big bids. In order to do that, let's go out to Bakersfield, California, where Larry has brought the crystal radio set. Larry, Al from Cross Plains, Wisconsin, has called in with an offer of $210.
Oh, I don't think so. We appreciate it.
All right. No problem there. He doesn't think so, but he appreciates it. In the meantime, we'll go back out to California because Brad brought the Coca-Cola Cooler. So Brad wanted to let you know that Jan from Morrison, Illinois, has called in with an offer of $725.
So.
Wow, he's over. All right.
Sure about that.
That's right. Sarah with the 18 model kit, Carrie from New Milford, Connecticut, has called in with an offer of $90.
Oh, sold.
Fern with the trinket box, Ann from Longview, Texas, has called in with an offer of $50.
Oh, I'll sell it.
All right. Joe with the Atomic Man accessories of the G.I. Joe family, Janice from Loxville Drake, New York, has called in with an offer of $155 for all.
I'll think about it.
All right.
Bertha, for your Christmas stockings, want to let you know that Ellen from Sherman Oaks, California, would like them for $62.
Oh, sold.
And Jim, for the silver match safe, Janet from Bentleyville, Pennsylvania, called in with an offer of $200.
Sold.
Yeah.
Ed, for the Disneyland Ferris Wheel, Mike from Buffalo, New York, would love it for $425.
No.
No.
Let's go back out to California. And Ron, for your Howdy Doody book, Mike from Buffalo is offering $395.
No.
No, that's a no.
No, I think that's a definite no.
That's right.
Well, let's go back on out and...
Shall we go back out and say goodbye to Io?
And
Yeah,
say
let's do
goodbye
it.
to Io. Io, it was a great job today. As always, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks to Charlie Zuela and all our super collectors this week. Today's my last day with you guys. I had a blast for the last 2 years. Thank you to John and Claire. I'm going to miss you on the other side of the camera.
You are a joy to know.
We love you, Io. Good luck with your acting career. You'll do well.
Thank you.
All righty. And, of course, we should let you folks know that on Monday we'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, looking at some Gone with the Wind memorabilia from Margaret Mitchell's house. That is our show for today. Thank you all for stopping in, and we will see you back here on Monday, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
So long.
If you'd like to be a guest, or you have a story idea or a comment, give us a call at 1-800-FX-FX-FX1 or reach us by fax at 212-802-4201.